Now, your first alert weather. Now, your first alert weather.
Well, hello and welcome to your first alert weather extra show for today. It is me, myself, and I driving the ship for today. So you have the pleasure of being with me, and I have the pleasure of being with you as we talk about all things weather locally and also on a national level. But as always, we're going to start off with that local forecast. And as you can see, we're taking a live look outside Grovetown Interstate 20 right now near that Lewiston Road interchange. Traffic flowing nicely. And we also have mostly blue skies out there for today. So still some clouds out there for sure. We're looking at partly cloudy skies that should begin to turn mostly sunny for a good chunk of today. Not ruling out though some periods of cloud cover at all. And there's still a very, very low chance for an isolated shower or storm, but that looks to be less than 20% for that threat today. So not looking at widespread shower or storm activity expected at all. Current stats at Bushfield Airport, it's 79, but it feels like 82. So still a little bit of humidity out there. As we head through today, though, we're going to see that humidity really begin to come down for us as this front continues to slowly drop towards the south. It's still hanging out across the area, though. So you can see here on visible satellite kind of a sharp divide with cloud cover across the region. Back behind this front, we're not seeing much cloud cover at all, but along and ahead of that front, still tracking some widespread rainfall, mainly off the coast of North and South Carolina right now. And as you can see, there's the front. It's kind of stalled out across the area, so it's been hanging out with us for about the past 48 hours and looks to be around at least for today, but not going to really do too much for our storm chances. Those higher chances still will be along the coastline of South Carolina and Georgia, and that could include some of our southern and eastern counties. A similar situation to yesterday, if you did, catch our newscast or just watch us track storms in the afternoon into the evening. A lot of that activity was situated across Jenkins, Screven, Allendale, Bamberg, Barnwell counties. And eventually, as we moved past sunset, we saw some of that activity push a little bit farther northward into the central CSRA. But for today, I do think that those rainfall chances look even more isolated than what they were yesterday. As far as the heat index and what it feels like outside right now, you can see it feels like 90 possibly in Louisville. Evans, we've been having a few issues with their sensor. It may be overdoing it just a bit, but Bushfield Airport, we're talking about the heat index still in the 70s. So how about that? And then we're looking at those heat index values pretty much between the mid to upper 70s and low to mid 80s around the region right now. So definitely seeing a little bit of that humidity lingering around, but just not all too bad. I'll go ahead and take graphics full screen, give you guys a better look at that, so you don't have to continue to look at me. But we are looking at a mostly dry and less humid setup for today, with those temperatures pretty much staying below average across the region as we get into the rest of this day and then continuing to tomorrow as well. You can see there's definitely going to be, once again, a divide in that heat index. So we're going to find those higher values for the heat index situated closer towards the coastline. So as we look at that, you can see Bamberg, it could be feeling like 96 versus other locations where we could have that heat index closer to 90. So once again, the possibility of a spread in temperatures in terms of what it feels like could be there just because of that front. We're looking at more humid air ahead of the front, less humid air behind the front. So if you think about it, it does make a little bit of sense. But as far as the heat index, we're looking at that for the Augusta area and most locations staying below the century mark at least through about Sunday. As we get towards Monday, definitely going to be flirting with that 100 degree or plus temperature reading for heat index values, but at least through about Sunday, we are going to see that humidity start to build back in by Saturday, but still those heat index values look to stay below 100 and our air temperature is pretty much in those low 90s. As far as expected rainfall the next 5 days, really not expecting much of anything at all. At most, maybe our southern counties could pick up 1/10 of an inch. So we're looking at that coverage of rainfall projected by the European model here over the next 5 days. And you can see most days look totally dry. It is the summertime though, so there will be at least a 10% chance every day for a pop-up shower or storm. And you could be in that 10% one of these 5 days. So understand that. And as we head towards Sunday, this model thinks that we could have some better rainfall chances south of Augusta, but this does change every day. And we are projecting most days to be totally dry for just about everyone. But there's always that isolated chance, though, for a pop-up shower or storm. So mostly dry for everyone. As far as the weekend forecast in general, though, looking warm, more seasonal, and again, that humidity starts to build back in, but mostly dry. So outdoor activities, you'll be in good shape as long as you stay hydrated and make sure that you apply that sunscreen if you'll be outside for an extended period of time. But mostly sunny, the shades will be needed, and not the worst weekend shaping up after we have had a few soggier finishes to our Saturdays and Sundays over the past few weekends. As far as the tropics, that's starting to heat up. It's been very quiet for the past few weeks, but NOAA, Colorado State University came out with their new projections of the hurricane season. Both agencies and also the Weather Channel, the weather company, all have upgraded their outlooks and increased the numbers of storms that they're expecting. So no surprise really that we're seeing more activity in the Gulf, and we're also beginning to get into the peak of the season as we continue to finish off August heading into the fall. So let's talk about it. 30% chance for this area of low pressure off of the Gulf of Mexico. Really not looking impressive at all on infrared satellite, not seeing much thunderstorm activity or anything, kind of quiet, but the percentage went up 10% from yesterday to today. It was at 20%, now at 30. Definitely bears watching with it being so close to the United States mainland already. As far as looking at our next tropical wave, east of the Lesser Antilles, north and east of Trinidad and Tobago, we're looking at a 60% chance over the next week that this could become our next named storm. So definitely more promising with that tropical wave. And there's a secondary wave out here right behind that coming off the coast of Africa, and we're looking at that also with a 60% chance of development the next 7 days. And both of those look way more impressive on infrared satellite than that other spot out there in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see where that X is, pretty much indicating the center of circulation, what would be. And whenever we see thunderstorm activity begin to coalesce around that center, that is a good sign of potential tropical development there. So we'll keep a close eye on all those three areas. Up next would be Emily, and then after that is Franklin and Gert. Gert, it's a funny name to me, but those will be the three names up next on the hurricane storm name list. As you can see, we've only gotten through 4 names so far, so definitely has been more of a quiet season, but as I mentioned, we are beginning to head into the peak of the season as we finish off August and especially getting into September. So no need to put your guard down just because it has been quiet so far. The waters are very warm out there, and things could pop off at any time, honestly. But as far as the First Alert Weather app, always a good time to download that, always. If you're not on your cellular device, you're watching this on a laptop, maybe your TV somehow, go ahead and pull out your cell phone, turn the camera on, and you can scan this QR code. It'll take you to the App Store if you have a Apple phone, iPhone, or it'll take you to the Play Store if you have an Android. But you can download this app straight to your phone. You'll get updates about impactful weather alerts in the way of severe weather, if we ever have that during the day, that you have that app downloaded, flood advisories, heat advisories, you name it, from winter weather to summer weather, all included in those alerts. Also heavy rainfall, lightning, if that's detected near your location, you get a push about that. We also have the hour-by-hour forecast on the app, a lot of useful tools, the interactive radar. You can submit your pictures and videos directly through the app. You can view our live eye cameras, and we also send out updates as your First Alert meteorologist throughout the day. So just a great app to have and a great tool to have on your cellular device to stay updated and in the know about the latest local forecast for your area. So highly encourage you to download that. But there's your 7-day forecast, and we are talking about a mostly dry outlook. Those temperatures in the low 90s, getting towards the mid 90s as we approach Monday. We are going to see an upper level ridge begin to build in as we head into next week. So that definitely could crank the heat up for us across the CSRA as we do talk about more of upper level high pressure, which does promote some warm air coming in at the surface. So here's a look at it as we get into next week. You can see Monday and Tuesday, just this ridge really sets in across about 2/3 of the country, maybe a little bit better than that. So we're talking about some hot stuff building in, and you saw as we get to next Tuesday, we're looking at highs in the upper 90s, 97, and that's definitely going to be able to boost that heat index well over 100 again. So the heat taking a slight break before it does return. So we're not done with summer yet. So definitely enjoy this quote unquote cooler weather the next 48 to 72 hours before we see humidity start to increase for the weekend. And then our high temperatures also begin to increase heading into the beginning of next week. So I don't like the warm weather. Some of you guys can feel me with that, so wish I had better news. But as we continue to move on through the weather show, we do have a package we want to get into about Hawaii. There are still fires burning on Maui a week after we have witnessed the major devastation out there. So they still have wildfires burning, and CNN's Bill Ware has the story.
With an upcountry fire only 60% contained, Maui's fire department stretched painfully thin, and winds kicking up once again, some residents around Kula are using sprinklers and hope to protect their homes. Whoa, careful, careful. And I met volunteer first responders trying to knock down hot spots with bottled water.
Oh man, you can feel the heat. Because there's a smoldering pit over there.
Oh.
And all it needs is a good wind to get it going. By the time we got there, it was already flaming.
Really?
Yeah, it started off with just a little smoke, and then we said, okay, let's get some water, haul it over there. And then by the time we got over there, it started flaming already. So, you know, we're gonna go back and go put some more water on it.
In this sooty, smoky brush, one wrong step into smoldering ash means a burned foot.
That's what happened. I went to go check that one, and the soot's so deep you can't get through it.
But they stay at it until they're spotted by a helicopter dropping water scooped from swimming pools, and they finally get the help they need. And they wonder why more skilled firefighters aren't being brought over from Oahu.
My mind is blown right now.
Really?
I don't even know what's going on. How is this even happening like this? This whole road should be blocked up. We should be blocked off right now, and the firemen should just be all here, hands on deck.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you keep people on Oahu, but they have enough personnel.
Yeah.
Just pay them overtime.
I stayed up till 2 in the morning watching because I knew the gas station was going off and the propane tanks and, you know, my favorite store that I used to go get for gardening supplies, it's gone. And the people that lost their homes, I was watching that.
Brenda Keow's 83-year-old mother-in-law was in her Lahaina home on the day of the firestorm, and her husband was among the first to provide a DNA sample. So now they are in grieving limbo. Has he accepted the idea that she's gone? Does he have to get confirmation before he can?
I mean, the truth about it, we accepted it on the day that we saw that there's no house. But you never give up hope. So it's, well, when he needs to talk, I just check on him. We check in on each other. We say, how are you doing? Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and we take time after each to check and answer. And my husband was saying, oh, I'm okay, and I told him, no, you're not. And if people ask you, are you okay? No, you're not. The word is, I'm concerned.
So you saw it there, just a pretty devastating situation out there in Maui right now, as we are talking about just fires continuing to rage. Out there you saw locals and volunteers putting bottles of water down on smoldering pits and soot so deep that you can't even walk through it. So just a pretty devastating situation out there. Only 5 of the 106 confirmed deaths have been identified according to the story that we just watched. So that's not a lot at all, and a lot of families seeking closure and just can't find that right now for multiple reasons. So just continues to be a very sad situation out there. And I do think that all of us should do what we can to help those people that are in desperate need, as you just saw, and going through so much. But just really sad to see what's going on out there, and I really hope that they get the help that they deserve. We're going to end with just some pictures. Hopefully that can brighten the mood, because that story got me pretty sad, man. But let's see. Oh, this is an old one, but whatever. We're taking a look at Bella. She's an American Cocker Spaniel that loves watching baseball and dreams of running on the field to catch those flying baseballs. So I think, like any dog, Bella loves to play with any kind of foam or squishy object. So this is another cameo of Bella here. It looks like she's almost smiling. She reminds me of the dog from The Lady and the Tramp. I know I can't be the only one thinking that right now. And I think they are really Cocker Spaniels. But hey, thank you, Bella, for brightening the mood. Man's best friend. That's what it's all about right there. But I'll leave you guys with the last look at that 7-day forecast. And let's see if I can get the right lower third up here. But Thank you guys for joining. You know, that's pretty much all we got for today. Again, it's just me. So we'll be doing this again tomorrow. And then as we get into next week, we'll have the whole gang back together, me, Nick Proto, and Emily Acton, our first alert meteorologist. So be sure to tune in then and check us out. But appreciate you guys that are watching right now. And for those of you that will join us later, be sure to watch, you know, everything in its entirety. And we love to see you here. But you guys stay cool today, stay hydrated. It'll still be a little bit toasty out there, but that humidity being a tad bit lower should help it feel slightly better. And looking mostly dry, so enjoy that. But again, just be sure to apply that sunscreen and stay hydrated if you are going to be outside for an extended period of time. But I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.